Well, it's Thursday, and when I walked downstairs to head off to the supermarket today, I get this big, thick blue tubing was running right along the footpath with another smaller tube next to it, and I couldn't work out what this was all about. And then some guy comes up and asks me where the water outlets are, and of course I say I have no idea because I never have to deal with it. They've got a gardener that does the stuff, and something I never have to grapple with. But as it turned out, it's a carpet cleaning guy. So I don't know what the hell they've got going there, what sort of system it is, but I've never seen that before. I thought, didn't realise they'd have sort of plastic piping going into the apartments. Very strange. Anyway, I hope he knows what he's doing. Of course it's noisy, but I'm getting used to noisy. The kids are making it in the creche noisy today. And of course we're still in limbo with the US election, and even though I was pessimistic about the legal path to victory for Trump, I'm becoming less pessimistic as time goes on, because he's got some really hard evidence here. I think there's about 11,000 affidavits from people working on the booths who have actually said that there have been irregularities. Now this is not a minor thing, And then on top of that, we've got the Dominion voting machines, which have been promoted by the Clinton Foundation. Of course, there'll be no political bias there, would there? I mean, they're squeaky clean, the Clintons. They've never been involved in any level of corruption. And these machines are used in, I think, something like almost 42 states or something. So most of the union is covered by these voting machines. So there's some really major question marks over the veracity of this electoral count. And I'm starting to think that, seeing the Supreme Court is now run by Conservatives because of the last appointee, we may well find that a number of these elections will be invalidated on a state basis, which means that Trump will be given the election because he'll be taken off Biden. It's amazing the number of outlets that are just presuming that Biden will be the next president. I mean, we know that the corrupt mainstream media, it's in their interest. They've been colluding with one another and even taken in the Murdoch press as well, which is the wild card I didn't expect. They have basically gone nuclear. They have thrown everything at Trump this time, and it stinks to high heaven, as I've said many times. I don't believe that there's been a fair vote. Some states have. It depends where you look. But there are a number of swing states that have definitely, there's been a campaign, an anti-Trump campaign run with these swing states, in my opinion. I've seen a few cop cars around lately. This is interesting. I've seen a lot more cop presence recently. I don't know what that's about. Maybe there has been a recruitment drive. But again, Palaszczuk's got nothing against increasing the public service. She loves it. She just wants to basically hammer private enterprise into oblivion. So, now that's a weird thing about the Cairns electorate. It's marginal Labor, but apparently the guy who's actually who's actually the member who retained his seat in the last election, he's actually heavily involved in the tourist industry and supposedly promoting tourism and what have you in far north Queensland. It's weird that people would still vote for him, though, considering how badly the tourist industry's been affected here. I find that strange that there wasn't a huge backlash against him. I've got no idea. I mean, the Liberals ran a very strong campaign in this electorate to no avail. So, it's just the nature of the Queensland electorate, I guess. They're hard to pick. I think they will swing against Labor at some stage, but working out when that's going to occur, you really do need the proverbial crystal ball to know what's going on. So, yeah, I don't know. Always a lot of traffic here. Well, I'm going in the early morning today, and I'm going the wrong way. Oh, God, doesn't matter. I wasn't even thinking, I've just been going the automatic direction rather than where I usually go. It doesn't matter, this is actually a shortcut. I could come back the other way. I like to sort of go one direction and come back a different way on the way home. It's not like there's no time constraints on me. Yeah, the joys of being retired. I have no issues with shortness of time. I've got plenty of time on my hands. Actually, I was watching an old movie last night called, I think it's called It's Time? No, something like that. I don't think that was the title, but there's quite a few familiar faces in it. And it's an intriguing sci-fi premise. It's the currency in this particular society is time. So what you have is on your the bottom of your arm, you have a digital readout in sort of green fluorescent, and it tells you how much time you got left. And of course, if you zero out, you die. So people use use the time that they've got left to buy things. It's a currency in effect. And of course, the price keeps going up for items, so it means that people have got even less time. And of course, there's a rich oligarch that lives in a separate place, and they have oodles of time available. They sort of remind me of the current Democrats in America, the plutocrats, the people who have the billionaire party, the big tech party, the virtue signalling party. But when it comes down to it, they have absolute contempt for the working class and average Americans. It's blatantly obvious. Oh, by the way, I'm actually quite enjoying switching to Newsmax. It's been a good experience. They seem to have a pretty good cable network there, which is conservative, and you can get the clips on YouTube, and you can also get a live feed. But if you go a live feed, then you've got to put up with the ads, so that's a bit of a drag. So it's actually, for me, it's better just to get the clips. But yeah, they're certainly very professionally done, and they're kicking ass in the ratings because Fox has basically committed suicide by alienating any conservative or right-leaning audience, which is their base. And now they're actually trailing the likes of NBC, MSNBC, and CNN. So that's must be fairly galling for them. Will they actually do a U-turn? I don't know. I think they're basically going to go into oblivion, because there's one sector of the electorate who's just dead against them. They are basically traitors to the cause and turncoats. And I would urge anyone who's still watching Fox News, switch them off, go to Newsmax. It's a much better alternative in my opinion. And I think Tucker will end up there eventually. I don't think he can possibly reconcile staying at the Fox network the way they're going. It's amazing. People like Neil Cavuto have basically totally sold out, and he's not the only one. Apparently Hannity is sticking to his guns, as is Tucker Carlson, so those people might make the transition. Judge Janine also took a stand and got suspended, but it's not the first time it's happened to her. But speaking the truth at Fox Network is a big no-no now. So it's very sad, but it just shows you how cutthroat, ruthless these corporate entities are. So luckily we have an alternative. Thank God that Newsmax is around. I'm worried about Sky News in Australia. I think the rot's going to set in there. It's owned by the Murdoch family, who are obviously going more woke by the minute. And I think eventually the popular commentators on that site, who are excellent, people like Peter Credlin and Rita Panahi, etc., will all go by the wayside, I think, eventually. I don't think there's much future for Sky News. They may allow them to continue on the way they're going, but I don't know. I doubt it. But we'll see, we'll see. Maybe I'm being overly pessimistic there. But there's a lot to be pessimistic about in the modern world, I think. It's a rather sad setup. I think these are new businesses moving in. I don't think Palashade's doing apparently is she's thinking of opening the borders to Victoria ahead of New South Wales. Again, I think that's a blatantly political decision. She's Labor Party, Daniel Andrews is Labor Party, and Berejiklian is Liberal Party, and I think maybe she's just trying to make some sort of a political statement. She doesn't care about the welfare of Queenslanders who need all the, especially up in a place like this, we need all the tourist dollars we can get. It doesn't concern her. But she's hoodwinked the Queensland electorate, in my opinion, and electors can be quite gullible at times and have short memories as well. So I think they've made a bad decision here, but anyway, we'll see. I'll take a different way here. I've got the lights now, so I might go across here. Yeah. I don't usually take this route. It's not a particularly attractive walk along here. It's along the main road, but I don't want to pass by Centrelink down there. It's a dodgy area, so I'll stay clear of that block. Anyway, might leave it at that. A little bit of an update. Again, the number of hits I'm getting on Bitchute is pretty well similar now to what I'm getting on YouTube. The previous video got about 5 times more views on Bitchute, so that's why I'm saying that I can see myself basically being an exclusive Bitchute channel in the near future, sometime next year maybe, we'll see. But the signs aren't good for staying on YouTube. I just feel as though I'm being hobbled, and we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'm just being paranoid, but I mean, Google has actually been better than people like Twitter. Jack Dorsey's a disgrace. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you, or entertainment, or whatever. And either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great. But please don't ignore me. That's the worst thing you can do on YouTube, is be ignored.